Hey everyone, it's Ashley and I'm back with a video today to teach you all about how you can take dollar store towels and turn them into something super cute for your own home or even as a gift. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future content. We're in the desktop version of Cricut Design Space, and I wanted to show you guys this really simple and easy project. This is great for gifts and also for home decor. So what you're going to do is go to the left side where it says Projects and type in the word towel. There's some really cute ones in here, but this one caught my eye, and this is also perfect if you want to do something like use up some patterned iron-on, or maybe if you wanted to use some sparkle, a solid color. There's so many different options you could use with this. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to customize this because I'm doing a set of them. So I'm using the Dollar General towels. This is great if you have some inexpensive towels that you want to customize. So if you want to duplicate something, you can just click with your right hand mouse and click duplicate, or you can click on it and go to the top left hand or top right hand corner of the screen here where it says duplicate. If you're using a phone or a tablet, go down to the bottom of the screen. There's a section where it says Actions. Click on that, scroll to the right, and you'll see a section where it says Duplicate. And if you hit the duplicate button, what it'll do is it'll make a second one so that we have two. This is a great opportunity for you to size this differently. If you have multiple towels that you're making and you want to make sure that each one looks customized to the right size, make sure that this fits your sizing. I'm using flour sack towels and they're 28 by 29 inches, so this should fit perfectly with plenty of room, and we're good to go on that. So I'm going to be cutting this out of two different colors here. So I'm going to change one to a different color, so just for visual reference, so I remember load one color of one, load one color of the other. Now this is ready, we're going to select Make It. It sorts our projects into colors. Because we're working with iron-on, we're going to select the mirror option and then click on the next screen and select mirror. We'll go back to our normal screen there. We'll select Continue. Now we're going to select our material that we're using. We're going to be using pattern iron-on, so I'm going to type in iron. And we're going to go to the bottom here and select pattern iron-on. And then click Done. So make sure that the mirror is turned on, which we have the mirror on, and that the material is loaded shiny side down. We're also going to use the fine point blade in clamp B. Let's talk about what supplies you'll need for this project. I'm using Dollar General flour sack towels, pattern iron-on, my Cricut machine, an easy press mat, and the easy press 2. Let's take our iron-on and adhere it to the mat. I'm going to remove my protective sheet. Aren't these adorable? So I'm going to use this one and this one for my project. We'll just remove the extra and save this for another project. We'll load our mat in after we've made sure that we have the correct blade in here, which we do. So we'll load this in right underneath these tabs. Press the arrow button, and then when you're ready, you can press the Cricut symbol. Now let's remove our project. We'll unload the mat by turning this face down, and we'll roll our mat away from our project here. Now we'll follow the same steps to make sure that we load our next material on here. We're going to load this, remember, face down, so shiny side down. Here's a trick if you're working with iron-on. You can take your project and just kind of slightly roll it, hold it with your hands here, so that way you have better control over it when you apply it to the mat. and just push out any air bubbles if there are any on the mat. Let's load our project into the machine. So we're just going to press the arrow button. And press the Cricut symbol to start. We'll unload this. We'll flip our mat over. This is a great time to cut away any excess that you're not using for this project. You can save it for another one for later. So I'm just removing this section here because this wasn't used. And the same thing with this one. Now we're going to weed our project, which just means to remove the excess material. So I usually work on this face down, and I pick a corner and I just start pulling on the corner just very slightly, and the design will stay on the backing while you're pulling away this. Just try not to go super fast, because you can pull your design up if you're going too fast. Finished decals. Now let's go ahead and prep our surface for what we're working on. We're going to take our Easy Press mat and put that here, get our Easy Press and set it to the right temperature. So to do that, check out Cricut's heat guide and I'll walk you guys through that. I went to Cricut's heat guide, which is cricut.com/heat guide. I'll have links to this in the description box below so that you can find it as well. And this is a great resource for knowing exactly what temperature and what time to iron on your projects. So we're going to be using the Cricut Easy Press 2, so I'm going to select that. Next, we're going to select our heat transfer material, and I'm using Patterned Iron-On. So I'm selecting that, and then we're going to select our base material. The project I'm working on is 100% cotton. I'm going to be using the Easy Press mat and click Apply. So we know that we need to preheat our project for 5 seconds at 340 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds with firm pressure. Then we're going to flip and press for 15 seconds to make sure that our design is set, and we'll allow the design to cool down completely, so it's a cool peel. And this tells us our supplies, our preparation that we need, how to apply it, and how to care for it. So let's go ahead and get started with the application. Let's set our Easy Press 2 to the correct temperature and time. So we'll turn this on and we'll select the temperature button. We're going to be setting this to 340 degrees. And for timing, the project will take 30 seconds. So I'm going to set this to 30 seconds. Let's let this heat up and make sure that we have our items ready to go. For these projects, Cricut recommends that you pre-wash everything. So what I'm going to say is, if you pick up something like this and it's all wrinkly and it hasn't been pre-washed, just make sure that you iron this out before you start applying anything to it. That way you get the best result, because mine is really wrinkly right now. So what I'm going to do is press this first before I do anything, and then once I press it completely, then we'll let it cool down, and then we'll follow the instructions for the rest of this. So I'm just going to go through right now and press this so this will be nice and flat across the whole surface. So the first step is to take your flour sack towel, you're going to fold it in half, and make sure that you put a little press mark in the center here. And this is just going to be a visual reference for you, so that way you know exactly where the center is on this. So we're just putting that on for a few seconds, enough that it makes a little bit of an indent here so we can tell. Then we're going to unfold it. I have our mat going lengthwise here because our project is also going lengthwise, so that way we have the most mat behind it. So before we apply it, we're going to make sure that we center our towel on the mat here. And we're going to preheat this for 5 seconds. So we'll take our machine, we'll turn it lengthwise, and we'll press this for 5 seconds first. And now we'll take our design, place it centered where our mark is here. Here's my iron-on protective sheet. You could also use something like butcher paper as well. And we will turn this on as soon as we move this over. We'll center this right over. We have to use firm pressure for this one. We need to flip and press this for 15 seconds. So I'm going to roll this over. Because this is a really thin material, I'm going to make sure I still use the iron-on protective sheet, and I'm going to do this for 15 seconds. So because it's set to 30 seconds, I'm just going to let this count down halfway. Flipped our project back over, and we're going to let this cool. This is going to be a cool peel, so we need to let this sit and do its work on adhering to the background here. Now we're going to repeat the same process that we did for the first towel for the second towel, and then once that is cooled down, then we can start removing the covering for the decal. So both of our projects have had time to cool down, and what we're going to do is start with the top one. Once it's a cool peel, you'll let that sit, and then you'll start removing the carrier sheet from the top. When you start peeling it off, if you notice that it's not attached, you can always put this back over and only set it for half of the time. So don't overcook this like twice as much. You're pretty much wanting to go for the amount of time that it's set for. And if you do run into any problems, just add another half of the amount of time. So I'm just peeling this back. It helps if you hold your surface and just peel away from it. So there is our first one. Now let's do the second one. Same thing, just gonna peel from a corner. And if you wanted to add anything else, you could put maybe some embellishment along the bottom, and that's really easy. You can use something like fabric glue or sew it with a sewing machine. But that's just an easy way to get really nice customized towels for the holidays. And these make great gifts as well. So you could just fold them up and set them together as a little gift set. And wouldn't that be super cute as a gift set? What do you think of the completed DIY? I think they turned out really fun, right? So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future content. I have a ton more videos coming up for the month of December, so I hope you'll join me for those. Have a great day.